Hey kiddaroonies. So, I've been thinking about quitting YouTube. Yes, I'm very original, thank you very much. But yeah, I just don't find it fun anymore. Coupled with the fact that hardly any of my videos get consistent views, I don't see the point in continuing to make the content I've been making. But before I leave, I want to talk about my favorite album of all time, Transatlanticism by Death Cab For Cutie. It's a concept album about a long-distance relationship, and I hold it very near and dear to my heart. Its themes of loneliness and repetitive mediocrity are things that resonate with me a lot. If I could pick one album to represent my life, it would be this one. Okay, if we get any sappier, I'm going to throw up. So let's just get started by talking a bit about the band.
I do believe it's true that there are roads left in both of our shoes. But if the silence takes you, then I hope it takes me too.
Death Cab For Cutie is an indie rock band who have dabbled in various genres in their discography. We have the Facts Are Voting Yes and the Photo album that both become emo staples, with the former also taking inspiration from slowcore. Plans and Codes and Keys are more indie pop, and their latest album, Asphalt Metals, is comparable to acts from the post-punk revival. But they're still highly distinguishable from other bands. Their songs are centered around literate and imagery-filled lyrics by frontman Ben Gibbard, who sings with a unique sense of articulacy. Former member Chris Wallace's rich production also complements their pleasant, mostly slow to mid-tempo music. Death Cab For Cutie is unapologetically not a cool band, and if my existence is any indication, their fans aren't very cool either. But maybe their lack of attitude is what makes them a household name. Their sensitive songwriting fills a certain niche that most other bands don't. After collaborating with Dental and Vinyl Kylie's Jenny Lewis in the Postal Service and releasing an album in 2003, Ben Gibbard became fascinated with long-distance relationships and the need to be loved, leading to the band's magnum opus. Let's get into Transatlanticism.
Explosions off in the distance. In the distance.
We open things up with the New Year. New Year's Day is a strange holiday, isn't it? We light fireworks and stay up late, but truthfully, nothing's automatically going to change just because we've entered a new year, and resolutions are rarely kept. It's a celebration that doesn't matter, or at the very least, that's what the narrator of this song believes.
So this is the new year. I don't feel any different.
It's a great way to establish the themes of the album. The new year ends with a series of noises that lead to the next track. Noise is used pretty frequently in the album to add to its isolating atmosphere. Lightness and title registration are both about feeling ignored by your partner, though the former is more vague and the latter paints a clearer picture of the narrator's sense of emptiness now that his lover is no longer around.
Ivory lines lead. Whoa. From here I rest, where disappointment and regret collide, lying awake at night.
Title and registration is one of the highlights of the album, with its sweet acoustic riffs and clever lyrics. How many other songs can ramble about something as inane as glove compartments and still be really cool? Expo 86 is musically similar but thematically different.
But if I move my place in line, I'll lose.
It's about an endless cycle of discontentment that you're too afraid to break free of, so instead, you choose to settle for less. That theme of settling, despite dissatisfaction, is continued on the next track, The Sound of Settling. Shocking, I know.
I'll sit and wonder of every love that could have been, but only thought of something charming to say.
The Sound of Settling is one of Transatlanticism's more energetic moments, and it's also one of its biggest hits, probably thanks to its simplicity and endless catchiness. Dissatisfaction leads to a stark realization in tiny vessels.
This is the moment that you know that you told her that you loved her, but you don't.
The protagonist realizes that he has stopped having any passionate feelings towards his partner. He wants to love her, but just can't. And with how emotionally detached they are from each other, you can't blame him. It's a pretty sad song. No, Ian Cohen from Pitchfork, it's not about manipulating people or being a sociopath, you absolute buffoon. Like, how much paint do you have to huff to come up with something so stupid? God damn. This track then transitions to the obligatory long song that's on nearly every artsy alternative album. The title track. We've reached the crux of the album.
Oh no, I need you so much closer. I need you so much closer.
The word Transatlanticism was invented by Ben Gibber to describe a sense of emotional distance that's so large it could be compared to the Atlantic Ocean, and that metaphor is developed all throughout this song. It's a very climactic track, so it's no wonder why the band often uses it as a finale in live shows. Passenger Seat is a flashback to when the relationship was great.
With my feet on the dash, the world doesn't matter.
It's a super sweet song with some beautiful piano, but within the context of the album, it's incredibly haunting. Sometimes something incredible can slip away just like that. Death of an Interior Decorator isn't tied to the story of Transatlanticism, but rather it's a retelling of a movie called Interiors, which was made by Woody Allen. Let's move on, shall we?
While you arrange flowers and chose color scheme, can you tell me why you have been so sad?
We Looked Like Giants is thematically similar to Passenger Seat, also being a flashback to simpler times, though the music is much more loud, explosive, and desperate sounding.
And together there, in a shroud of frost, the mountain air began to pass through every pane of weathered glass.
Finally, we get to the closer, my favorite song of all time, A Lack of Color. The first thing you notice about this song is the gorgeous acoustic guitar accompanied by crushing ambience. When the vocals come in, it's nothing less than an emotional gut punch, thanks to the constantly descending melodies.
And when I see you, I really see you upside down.
The lyrics are equally devastating. They're simply an acceptance of everything regarding the relationship. It was nice at first, but now, despite the protagonist still being unable to get his lover out of his head, he just can't see her. The track ends with the same noises the new year starts with. Another year has begun, and the cycle repeats. I think the main reason I love this album as much as I do is because of when I found it. It was winter, either in late 2021 or early 2022. 2021 was a pretty interesting time in my life. It was the year I started this channel, and the year I really started getting into music, thanks to some degree to this also being the year I got a Spotify account. My life was a lot simpler back then, as I didn't really have any real goals or expectations of myself, but I still wasn't really happy. Up until 2023, when I returned to physical school, I did virtual school and couldn't really leave the house much because of COVID. The friends I had at the time I was slowly losing touch with, and I've since stopped talking to them completely. Basically, the only other kind of interaction I had with anyone not in my family was on all the Overwatch I used to play. Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a net loss. Most Overwatch matches are more obnoxious than the screams of 100 band kids. My days are all starting to blend together because of how lonely and emotionally distanced I felt. Hey, that sounds familiar. So, to say that I relate to Transatlanticism would be as much of an understatement as calling Aquafina annoying. But make no mistake, I don't just like it due to sentiment. It's truly a great album. It's smart, beautiful, and musically ambitious. Honestly, if I discovered it today, it'd probably still be my favorite album. Definitely check it out. So, yeah, that was the video. At the beginning, I said I was thinking about quitting YouTube, but that wasn't completely truthful. What I mean is that I'm going to stop dedicating so much time to these video essays, as well as most of the other kinds of content you can find on this channel as of now. Instead, I'm going to prioritize more ambitious projects, though I might still make smaller videos occasionally. I definitely won't be gone forever, but I also won't upload nearly as much as I used to. Not that I uploaded much to begin with. Hopefully y'all are cool with that. In the meantime, my Spotify and Letterboxd are in my channel description in case you want to follow me elsewhere for whatever reason. But enough about me. Transatlanticism is a masterpiece. It's not for everyone, very few things are, but if you're struggling with emotional distance, whether it's between a lover, a friend, a family member, or the world in general, chances are you won't just connect with this album, you'll feel it. It's a 10 out of 10. Well, that's it. Goodbye.